When I was a kid, I loved endlessly reading old Archie Digests over and over. The stories were entertaining enough, but what was always more memorable to me were the advertisements and self-promotion material printed all throughout the magazine, old remnants of a bygone era. So come along with me on a little nostalgia trip as I look at, talk about, and kind of make fun of some of the old advertisements in Archie Digests.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Okay, we're starting with a Betty and Veronica 256-page double digest magazine number 3. This is a 1987 issue and one of the earliest I own. Did you panic, Veronica? No, but I will if he doesn't ask me for my phone number! Ha. I love how Archie is just like in the background here, like opening it up. We've got a blank page. Remember this for later. And our very first story, oh my gosh. This one is about Betty and Veronica trying to get tickets to a rock concert of one Willie Cole, the king of rock. I'm assuming he's supposed to be a reference to Billy Idol, but they actually use like a marginally less blatant name than they would do in the future. So I'm just going off of appearances and the fact that his name sounds like Billy. Hey, here we are, our first ad. This is the Chips Ahoy Betcha Bite a Chip Fold-In contest. How many bites of a Chips Ahoy cookie does it take before you bite a chip? Once you fold A to B, the answer will appear. Fold in like this. Oh, you mean fold the page in half that has a perfectly good comic on the other side. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Someone folded this. No, they did not. They did not. With some handy photo manipulation, though. I bite off my hand again. Other than the prompt to fold it, this is a really nice ad. I really like the simple white background, the illustrations. I mean, I don't really care how many chips the Chips Ahoy has, but I might just buy a Chips Ahoy after seeing this.
You win!
Immediately following Chips Ahoy, we've got another sort of ad, this time a self-promotion. Here it is, fans, subscribe. So this is just an ad asking you to please subscribe to the digests for a discounted cost, $10 USD for 6 issues as opposed to $12. I guess the American dollar was better than the Canadian when this was published because it says for foreign orders to enclose 15 instead of 10. This is also reflected on the cover with the price being $2.25 instead of $2, but the way they want you to pay for it is to cut out the order form and then mail it to them. And it's a good idea in theory, but in practice, you're just gonna end up cutting out a portion of your comic. This is 2 pages in a row now that would be ruined. Needless to say, I would never do this. I'm not going to ruin my book for a mail deal. Aside from that, though, I really like how we get to see a color variation of the cover. I don't know if this was like a printing error or like a prototype color scheme, but it's nice. It's actually nice. And as we keep flipping through the book, we get to our second actual ad, Pineapple Stickers. I don't know why it's named like that. All new designs. Read the text blurb. That's all it says. It's fucking dark in here. Why would I write that?
A great collection of wild stickers. Our hot new designs and colors. Our most complete set to date includes 100 different color stickers, 200 year.
I don't care. So this is another ad that wants you to destroy the pages because it's another mail order ad. Awesome. Aside from that, though, it's a pretty clean ad, I guess. The logo is pretty nice and the stickers look somewhat decent. You get like over 300 of them too. It's a pretty decent ad. I don't know how many people are gonna stop to read the text though. Continuing on, it's Lil Jinx. This is a character that started in 1947 and stopped being published 10 years later. In my opinion, it's a pretty filler character for these books. Her stories are generally kind of boring, but get used to it because we'll be seeing a lot more of her. Fans, now you can get the brand new Archie fan club. You can join, you can get the fan club and be eligible to win cash prizes. Yes! Apparently if you join, you get some stationery, a membership card, a button with 4 whole colors, and a pen that writes in 3 different colors for $3. Fuck the stickers, I'm buying the 3-color pen. Although they don't actually show real pictures of what you're getting, so it's probably just all cheap plastic crap. Oh yeah, and this is another mail order, so you know what that means. Why does Archie need to know my name, age, and preferred gender? Is Archie trying to fucking collect my data? Next up, there's actually a pretty big stretch where there's no adverts aside from this tiny one advertising the Archie Comics magazine. This is actually kind of nice, just going back to back from story to story. Oh, well, that's over. Here we have another promo, this time for Archie Double Digest. It's essentially the same as the Betty and Veronica one that was printed earlier, just a bit more clean and with Archie. On literally the next page, there's another tiny ad telling you to watch for the new Archie's cartoon show on NBC, Saturday morning starting September 12th. And what do you know, the next ad is for the new Archies. What's new? The new Archies. Watch for it. I love how they say, hey kids, like they just absolutely know who their demographic was at this point. Also, I just wanted to point out that this ad is slightly out of date. It's advertising a September start date, despite the fact that this issue is published in October. The art's decent though, I guess. Pretty generic Archie style. The dogs though, holy shit, why'd they draw them this way? Here's another decent stretch with no ads featuring Archie the First, a story where they're all cavemen. That's the joke. Following that, there's an absolutely minuscule ad I'd read the text. Fucking don't write read the text, asshole.
Archie comics and digests are now on sale at all B. Dalton stores, Walden Books, and at most supermarket checkouts. Wow!
Here's a panel I found with some good posing, Betty especially. And then here's the parody series they have for The Man from U.N.C.L.E., where they are just the characters but with periods between their names. That's the joke. Here's another promo that tries to sell the actual comics as opposed to the digests. You're supposed to check the 2 comics you want, and then you'll get them for $1 when you mail in the offer. This time though, they want you to cut out the entire page, which is arguably better, so you're not stuck with only half a page. It still sucks though. It's not. I don't like it. The new Archies again. This time advertising the comic book tie-in. Honestly, who cares? Moving on. Following along, we've got another new character. This one is Pipsqueak, a character that ran for a very short time in the 50s and 60s, and one that I do not care about. Fans, join the exciting Katie Clean. Fans, join the exciting Katie Keene fan club. Yo, Katie Keene. This is a character that debuted in like 1945 as a fashion model, and after the character was retired in the 60s, she was reintroduced in the 80s with mostly the same role, only to be retired again in 1990. She was then later brought back in 2020 for the new Riverdale series, as well as for her own Riverdale spin-off show, which is just called Katie Keene. Anyways, this ad is identical to the Archie fan club ad, with the only difference being that the merch is Katie Keene themed. Speaking of which, we get a nice full-body piece of Katie Keene wearing clothes with math on them. Wait a minute. Flipping further through, we've got Poise Will Be Poise and Cricket Odell. This is an Archie character who is used extremely infrequently. I've only read like 3 or 4 stories with her in them. She's unique from the rest of the cast due to her ability to smell money, leading to her in this story catching someone trying to leave the bank with a bunch of money. Next up is a self-promo asking you to subscribe, please. You get 5 digest issues for like $5. There's not really much else to this ad. And then it's another subscription offer, but for the Katie Keene comics. Nice. Then it's another subscription offer. Holy shit, with postage and handling paid by Archie himself. Yeah, I don't care. Yo, it's a drug PSA. I haven't seen one of these in forever.
You don't need drugs to do all this super cool stuff.
This one doesn't appear to be sponsored by the US government, but it probably is. So I'm not actually sure what this is supposed to be. Like, I don't know if this is like a self-promo or an actual ad. Like, from what I've read, it seems like some sort of sales gimmick where they want kids to sell stationery to win some like crappy prizes. And Captain O, more like Captain Oh no. Once again, we've got a blank page, and then it's M&M's. Look at these old ass designs. This guy's getting pissed on in the top right. I like the plain and peanut variety we've got going on here. Chocolate fun for everyone. The milk chocolate melts in your mouth and not in your hands. So that was a lot more self-promotion than I honestly thought there would be. Like, there weren't too many actual adverts. Technically, there were 18 ads in total, but 3 of those were absolutely tiny and were mostly just self-promotions. Although this one wasn't too interesting, it still is a really neat time capsule of some really specific late 80s culture.